Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to talk about non-formal education, which is from chapter 2 in your education subject. Okay, and the topic under this non-formal education, that is distance education. In our previous classes we already discussed the meaning, characteristics, definitions, concept, objectives of non-formal education. Here we proceed with the topic, that is distance education is a kind of non-formal education. Okay. Okay, so when we actually study, or when we learn something, or when we people moving towards study something related to your course, related to your syllabus, or related to your topic subject, always we need to focus some specific questions. Okay, so here the first focus question regarding this topic is, what is distance education? Okay, your first topic is a first focus question is, what is distance education, and it is for 2 marks. Okay, next is, state two definitions on distance education. It is also for 2 marks, because here we need to actually state two definitions on distance education. Third, mention the characteristics of distance education. Okay, so when the question will come in your examinations, mention the characteristics of distance education. Okay, so in these types of questions, what we need to do, if the question is for 2 marks, then we need to specify two specific characteristics. If the question is for 4 marks, then we need to add 4 specific characteristics. If the question is for 6 marks, that means what, we need to add 4 specific characteristics here. Okay, and the last question, or the fourth question, is mention some objectives of distance education. So here it is same like the characteristics of distance education. Here also we need to add 2 specific actually points, or 2 specific objectives if the question is for 2 marks, or if the question will come that mention 2 objectives of distance education, then you need to add 2 specific objectives. Or sometimes if the question will come, then mention the objectives of distance education and the marks is only 2, that means what, we need to add 2 specific points, as like this first one, actually third one. Okay, or if the question is for 4 marks, then we need to add 4 specific objectives, or if the question is 6 marks, then we need to add 6 specific objectives. Okay, let's proceed towards the next slide. Okay, here the first question that we had, that is, what is distance education? Okay, so distance education is actually divided into three, is here 4 specific parts, which is actually shows the meaning of distance education. First of all, to support regular and substantive interaction between the instructor and the students. Okay, so as you understand here, regular means that the formal education that we already had actually, or we people are now following that education system, or the formal education system. Okay, yes, substantive interaction means subject related interaction between the teacher and the instructor, or actually between the teacher and the students. Okay, so the formal education is that kind of education where there is interaction between the instructor and the students are related to the subject matter. Okay, but distance education is a kind of education system which actually needs to support the formal education. Okay, this education system needs to support, or this is a kind of education system which actually available to support the regular and substantive interaction between the instructor and the student of formal education system. It is not formal education, it is just a support. Okay, next, our next point, it is distance education is a method of learning not confined to the walls of formal classroom. Okay, so distance education is a mode or method of learning which is not confined to the walls of formal classroom. That means what, we not need to go to the formal education institutions for having distance education, as here the name is there, distance means making distance. Okay, where one can study at one's own pace. So in distance education, here you can learn according to your own pace, you can learn according to your own time. Okay, when you have time, what actually you want to choose, where your choice is there, or where your interest is based on your own interest, based on your own timetable, based on your free time or leisure time. If you manage some time at any actually specific month or any specific year or any specific actually moment, then you can choose distance education to continue your education. Okay, if you people are not having formal education. Okay, next is education through e-learning. Okay, so at present we all know that because of the pandemic, e-learning is very important for all the students from primary to the higher level or university level. Okay, so e-learning or web learning is very important, and distance education is that kind of education system which actually given to the students with the help of e-learning, video conferencing. Okay, with the help of video conference as we people are at present doing. Okay, synchronous learning means where we people active and also the teacher is active. Here both the teacher and students are active to do the class. Okay, here we can chat with the teacher directly with the help of some electronic media, for example in WhatsApp video calls, in Duo video calls, in Google Meet video calls, in any kind of Zoom video calls or any kind of video calls or any kind of chatting where the teacher will reply you or you reply the teacher at the same time, or active process. Actually synchronous learning is an active process where you need to apply or actually you need to reply to the teacher at the same time. Okay, for our like our WhatsApp chatting, that you send me a message and I will reply at the same time, that is synchronous learning. And asynchronous learning means, as I have already given you people one idea about the meaning of correspondence education. So synchronous asynchronous learning is nothing but the correspondence education. Here the teacher will provide us some kind of mails or some kind of documents, and we need to study that documents so that we can understand something, or based on that documents we people need to give our examination. So distance education is both synchronous and asynchronous learning. Okay, next, distance education in India known by various names. Okay, distance education has different kinds of names. First one is correspondence education course. It is also known as correspondence course. It is also known as correspondence education. It is also known as extension courses. It is also known as distance learning. It is known as open learning, or it is sometimes known as virtual education. Okay, so these are the names of another names of distance education which is popularized in this country, in our country. Okay, in India these are the names actually used as a synonym of distance education. Okay, next is the process of creating an educational experience of equal qualitative value. Okay, so distance education is actually the equal qualitative value like formal classroom. What educational experiences that you will get from distance education is, or actually has, the equal qualitative value like formal classroom. Okay, though you need to get the education outside the classroom, but it is equal to the formal classrooms. Okay, next is to deliver instruction to students who are separated from the instructor. Okay, so it is also a kind of education system or educational mode where the teacher will deliver instruction to the students not inside a classroom or not in a formal setting. The teacher will instruct the students outside the classroom in some other modes. Okay, so what we understand regarding the meaning of distance education, so distance education is a mode of education system. It is not actually a course, or it is not actually a university. It is a mode of education system where students can learn without moving to the education institution. There is no direct relationship with the teacher and the student. Here the teacher will guide the student based on some actually forms like e-learning forms, video conferencing forms, synchronous learning forms, asynchronous learning forms. Okay, this is distance education. Here your own choice is there. Here you need to choose according to your own interest. Here it is based upon your time. Okay, it is also actually there is flexibility in age. You can join in any education institution under distance education mode according to your own age level, not necessary that you need to join according to the institutional age limit. Okay, okay, next, that is the mode of distance education covers under three specific points. Okay, so the mode of distance education is covered under three specific points. Okay, so first one is learner centered education system. So distance education is learner centered education because here main focus has been given to the students, to the learners. Okay, it is related to your choice, it is related to your own time, it is related to your own pace. That means it is learner centered, because here main focus has been given to the learner, not to the teacher, not to the policy, or not to the actual institution. Here it is up to your choice, it is up to your actually interest level. Therefore it is learner centered education. Okay, next is distance education is indirect education, because already we said we actually not we do not have that facility to connect with the teacher directly. Okay, we not need to go to the institution directly. Therefore it is indirect education, because there is no relationship between the teacher and the student, and the teacher will not directly come to you people to instruct you regarding your subject matter. Okay, therefore it is indirect education. Okay, next is life center education, because as we know it is like this education lifelong process. This means from your birth to till that you can take this kind of education, you can enroll yourself in this kind of education system. Okay, so life centered education means it is related to your life. Whenever you want, wherever you want, you can join these types of education system. Okay, life center means it is sometimes talk about your life facilities, it is your life circumstances, your life substances. Okay, from your birth to till death, whenever you related to your different programs, different actually skills, different vocations, different actually ideologies, different perspectives, if you want to choose this course, then you understand how it is effective for a people. Therefore it is life centered education, because it is related to your life. Okay, from your birth to till that, what you earn expenses, actually what types of earn expenses that you earn, you can actually avail the expenses or utilize your adult those expenses here. Okay, next, so non-formal education is known as different names according to different educationists. Okay, the Murray said that non-formal education is known as telematic teaching. Okay, according to Murray, non-formal education is known as telematic teaching. That means what? Murray said that non telematic teaching is similar to distance education, and also we can say the another name of distance education is telematic teaching according to Murray. Sometimes in your examination the question will come that who said that, or what is the another name of distance education according to Murray, then you need to write telematic teaching. Okay, next is Delling. Delling said that distance education is known as distance study. Sim said that distance education is correspondence education, and Holmberg said that distance education is distance education. Okay, so four specific people, according to their perspective, they define or actually they gave some specific names to distance education. Okay, so these are the names. Next, definitions. Okay, so first definition is said that by Murray, that distance education may be defined as the family of instructional methods. So here it is instructional methods, because here we use different kinds of teaching technical actually materials. As you know that distance education related to technology, here internet is very important. So here we learn with the help of distance education, with the help of different kinds of technological methods or different kinds of technical methods. Therefore distance education is known as distance education, because here no direct relationship with a teacher, we need to learn with the help of some instructional methods or instructional materials. Okay, I have given you the examples earlier: e-learning, okay, Zoom, Google Meet, etc, etc. Okay, in which the teaching behavior are performed apart from learning behaviors. So here what you learn, this is not give focus on that. The focus is only they will teach, because in computer or in any form of technological or e-learning materials, only you can learn, but there is no one who can evaluate your behavior at the same time or at the moment of teaching. Okay, so here main focus has been given the teaching behaviors rather than learning behavior. Okay, next is Peter said that distance education is a method of indirect instruction implying geographical and emotional separation of teacher and taught, while in mainstream education the relation between teacher and students in the classroom is based upon social norms. In distance education it is based upon technological rules. Okay, the first said that Peter said first, it is a matter of indirect instruction because there is no relationship between the teacher and student. So if the teacher will not instruct you, then how can you understand? Okay, therefore it is indirect instruction. The teacher will not directly come to you to instruct you people, but teacher will come from other modes. Okay, and here no specific geographical location or no classroom, no walls. That means what? No specific geographical location. There is an emotional separation of teacher and taught. The teaching of the teacher or the taught of the teacher, you will understand based on your own technological materials. You will not actually connect with the teacher emotionally. Therefore here emotional separation is there. Okay, while in mainstream education, in case of actually mainstream education or formal education, there is a relation with the teacher, or it is based upon social norms. Because when we actually come close in a specific room or in specific geographical location, that means automatically we need to follow the social norms. We understand the social norms, how to talk, how to behave, okay, how to respect, how to maintain discipline, how to follow the rules and regulations. But when it comes to distance education, it is based on technological rules, because all the things related to our technology. Okay, if the technological materials, technological performance, technological platforms are good, then we need to understand the perfect things perfectly. Okay, but when it comes to formal education, there is some social norms available, but distance education, we need to follow the technological rules. Okay, next, characteristics. Okay, so first characteristics is distance education is lifelong and continuous process, because already I have said that we need to learn according to our own choice. We can learn from our birth to till death. No specific age limitation, no specific time limitation, no specific entry limitation. Okay, it is lifelong and continuous process. When we want, we can learn. Okay, next is it uses different modes of communication. Okay, so here, as we know, there is no in actually direct relationship with the teacher. There is no specific classroom, there is no actually boundary. So we can learn in different modes. Sometimes video conferencing, sometimes synchronous learning, sometimes asynchronous learning, sometimes some other modes of e-learning. Okay, next is no relationship with the teacher and the students. It is very simple. Next is flexibility in age and time of learning. It is also very simple, because you not need to follow any kind of age. There is flexibility in case of entry or exit. There is flexibility in case of time of learning. Okay, next is each and every strata of society can join. Okay, every and each and every strata of the society, or each and every person of society, or any community, any person, any stratified group can join this kind of education. There is no any case of diversification, no hindrance is there, no any kind of actually problem is you can find, because it is open for everyone. It is for all, so any person can join there to complete their education or to continue their education after doing, or actually after completing any course. Okay, next is independency to the adult learner. Some actually what we understand that these types of education actually, in case of these types of education system, only education has been given to the adults. Actually when we talk about is very much to the adults. Okay, or the adults will come to join these types of courses or these types of education, actually distance education programs, because they are busy with different kinds of jobs, or maybe they are actually engaged in different kinds of business. Therefore they want to continue by engaging their jobs. Therefore what we understand that the adult person or adult learner maybe or directly actually enroll themselves to these types of courses. Therefore for them independence here there, by engaging their jobs they can continue their education, by doing their own profession they can continue their education without facing any problem related to any age, related to time learning. According to their own level they can learn. Therefore independence to the adult learner is available here in this education mode. Okay, next, the objectives of distance education. The first objective is to provide an effective alternative path to wider opportunities in education and especially in higher education. Okay, so distance education is an alternative and effective educational platform which widens the opportunities in education, in especially in higher education, for the people, so that they can come and join these types of courses at whenever they want in any specific location. Okay, next is to provide an efficient and less expensive education. As we know, distance education is less expensive and it is equal like formal education. If it is less expensive, if it is actually related to your own timetable, if it is related to your own pace, or it is also efficient and similar quality like formal education, that means you need to join, obviously. Yes. Next is to provide education facilities to all qualified and willing persons. Okay, if you are qualified, means metric pass or 12 pass or actually HS passed or graduate, if you want to continue your education, that means what, after graduation I want to continue my master, that means here the facilities available, or actually distance education provides the facility to the qualified person or willing persons to continue their education under this education mode. Okay, next is to provide opportunities of academic pursuits to educated citizens willing to improve their standards of knowledge. As we know, always we eager to get different types of information. We always want to increase our knowledge level. Okay, if we want to improve our knowledge level, if we want to actually increase our knowledge, for that purpose we need to study, and distance education will provide that platform so that you people can easily improve or actually increase your knowledge level. Okay, next, to provide education facilities to those individuals who look upon education as a lifelong activity. Okay, so it is said that a lifelong activity. Okay, lifelong activity here means distance education provides you people to continue your education at any age. For example, if you are doing masters, okay, after completing masters, if you want, I want to continue another degree, or I want to add one more degree in my actually biodata or in my CV, you can continue here, because any degree you can continue at the same time like formal education. Actually not like formal education, if you join formal education, it means there you need to continue one education, but after completing masters in sociology, you can continue masters in economics here, you can continue your political science in here, and after completing one course you can join for another course. That facility is provided by this distance education. Next is to make education fruitful by employing modern technical skills into education system. Okay, modern technical skills. So modern technical skills means what types of technical skills? At present we all know that different types of technological method, different types of technological materials available in the world for learning. Okay, here we have a smart classroom, we have these types of e-learning modes, we have actually swam provide channels, we have different kinds of video conferencing platforms. So we can employ, actually distance education employ different types of modern technical skills under this education system, so that people can come to join these types of courses. They inspire to join these types of courses to know all the modern technical skills that is available here in the society, that are actually available in the world. Okay, so this is the objective of this education system. Okay, so these are the objectives of distance education, and these objectives are very very crucial and important to understand the fact, or the understand the concept of distance education. Okay, some rest different types of objectives available in your books. If you search your books, then you will have different kinds of objectives, different other some important objectives. If you want to know more about distance education, keep focus on your study, or if you proceed with your books, then you can understand perfectly. Okay, next, here we have a picture. Okay, so a picture that shows a virtual classroom that actually at present available in the society because of the pandemic. So if the pandemic will move, then maybe we need to proceed towards the formal classroom, but distance education also provides the virtual classroom. Okay, so this is the picture of a virtual classroom. There is also a part of distance education. Okay, so from the class, what we understand, that distance education is a kind of education system which is mainly focused on providing education to the people who wants to continue their education by engaging in any job, or the people who want to continue their education by engaging some different types of profession or business, etc. Okay, also we can say that distance education is a mode of education system. Okay, it is not a course, it is a mode of education system, like formal education, like actually informal, it is just a mode of education system. Okay, here we will understand what types of actually universities will come, or what types of actually education institution will come under this education system in our next class. Till that, thank you.